Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Rob and I talk about high-end collectible comics and comics art. Subscribe if that's your kind of thing. I love to talk about comics and I post 1 or 2 videos a week doing just that. This week I'm going to share an updated version of some analysis that I've done for about the last 20 years. As part of my $100,000 club, which is an ongoing list of the books that would sell for over $100,000. Trust me, it was a much smaller list in the 2000s. But I've continued to add to that list and I track any sales over $100,000 that I know about. And as part of that, I created a little visualization and a table, which you can, it's sorted, initially is sorted by highest value. So it's basically a list of the highest value comic book sales of all time that I have record of. And there's an additional visualization that shows you some data about, the seller, the timeline of sales over $100,000, the value of the sales, etc. So like the last time I went through a visualization, I'm going to go full screen so you can see everything. And yeah, I'm going to just show it off. It's pretty quick. I'm going to drop a link in the description to the visualization and table because that's actually probably more interesting. You'll be able to kind of sort and filter and do all kinds of things with the table, which is actually pretty fun. And yeah, so I just wanted to share it. I've been working on this. I'm still working on a bunch of visualizations. I'm working on the Silver Age top 20 visualization CGC Census thing to follow up the Golden Age one I did, which I'll also drop a link in the description if you haven't seen that. So here we go. Going full screen. Let's take a look. It'll be fun. So here we go. As you can see, I first published this visualization, a version of this visualization, in February of 2008. I've been at this for a while. This is a new version. I rewrote it recently to use new technology, etc. But the important thing to you is you can kind of go in here and there's a scale from 100,000 to $6.5 million. And there's a bunch of sales plotted from left to right. This being, the earliest known $100,000 sale, and this being the most valuable sale that we know about, the Action Comics #1 CGC 8.5. And so, yeah, you can play around with this. One of the things that I like to see in the context of what's been going on recently is that you can see that there's a very high spike in sales over $1 million in that kind of 2021, 2022 era. Which coincides with that kind of bubble that we went through. One of the things that's interesting as well is you can filter, just mousing over, you can filter on Auction House. So Comic Connect, Heritage, obviously done a lot of these things. Comic Link has been pretty successful. And then I just did a few that are over kind of 4 or 5. And then there's the other category, which is other. And yeah, so if you're looking through this and you want to look at an individual book, you just mouse over it and you get the details of that. So Hakes has sold a book for $569,000. And yeah, you can play around with it. It's more of a visualization of the timeline and the compression of the number of $100,000 sales that have happened over time and the growth of them, which is pretty obvious in this visualization. So that's a visualization. It's fun. It's fun to do, certainly, like as a coder. So it's fun to do from that perspective. But then let's take a look at the table next. So here's the table. You can see it, the top, because it's sorted initially by price. So at the top is the Action Comics #1 Kansas City copy, CGC 8.5. Go Roy, the Superman #1 Church copy, CGC 8.0 when it sold. It's now a CGC 8.5. Amazing Fantasy 15, CGC 9.6 at Heritage, etc. Lots of Action #1s. The Riley copy of Captain America #1. Comic Connect Superman #1 CGC 7.0. And yeah, so you can see all of the sales over $1 million that I have record of. And as an aside, if you have record of a sale over $100,000, really, but certainly over $1 million that I don't have on this list, and please, take a look. You can play around with it. Please let me know because I'm not perfect and I took a mini hiatus. I've taken a couple of mini hiatuses from getting this data on a constant basis, so I've missed things. Okay, in addition to the default view, which is kind of 6 million down to 100,000, interestingly, 2 at the bottom are both White Mountain copies. As an aside, the Fantastic Four #1 White Mountain copy is coming up for auction in Heritage. I am really excited to see that book come up for sale again. And yeah, not going to get sidetracked. So it goes from $100,000 to 6 million. In addition to this kind of default list, you can do things like filter by pedigree. And that'll get you the Edgar Church collection. And so here we go. There's, a few of these, and then you can go, let us sort by venues. We're going to say, filter by venues. We'll see Comic Connect. Comic Connect has sold 3 church copies over $100,000. Heritage, not surprisingly, 4, including the Suspense Comics number 3. Unknown, which is not really unknown. It's like kind of alt venues. Most of them, more than the others, right? But this is the kind of thing that you can do. You can sort and filter on multiple columns, which is interesting. So if you're trying to research a book that you're interested in, and it's in this kind of league, you can take a look. You can also take a look at pedigrees. Yeah, and so it's kind of fun. And of course, you can filter on the title, and if you wanted to, issue number, but you can also just sort by the issue number. You'll see that there's a lot of action number 1s because it's a very valuable book. And then you can see that there's some 7s, some 13s, some 10s. You can sort by pedigree, see which ones have flipped. Not that this Kansas City copy was a flip. They held on to that thing for 14 years. Enjoyed owning one of the best books in the hobby, and then made a ton of money when they sold. So good for them. And so, yeah, that's the table. And, like I said, it's kind of a lot of fun. It's fun for me to play around with this. It's actually fun for me to verify my data by playing around with this, so I can start to visualize some things. And I've made changes since I've launched this. I released it last week, but I've been going in and kind of looking at doing things for this video. And it's like, oh, I should, standardize all the pedigree names, because I would just put a note in and call it Church or Edgar Church or Mile High in a couple of places, and so I have to standardize that, and I can do more of that on the back end, which will make my data better and the experience for you users better as well. So yeah, and that's it. I just wanted to drop a quick one to reintroduce this content that I've had running for a long time. I think it's fun. It's fun for me, like I said. Up next, I am going to drop the 3rd episode of Edgar Church's Basement, my new podcast. I have identified 36 candidates, so a total of 36 books for the top 25 most valuable comic books in the world. I may find 1 or 2 other ones, but I'm going to discuss the new books that I've added to the potential 25 most valuable comic books in the world list, which will be fun. Some of them are interesting to me because I totally missed them throughout the years. And yeah, so I have some anecdotes to share there, which is always fun about my research. And sometimes, just as an aside, sometimes the research that I do misses things, but sometimes the entire hobby misses things. And so it's kind of funny. And yeah, and following up after that, I'm going to look at the Comic Link auction. The comic books have finished, and there have been some interesting results, both high and low. But we have one original art page that won't finish until the 5th. So I'm waiting to do the entire auction until then. And yeah, after that, I have the Comic Connect auction, which is ending in a couple of weeks. The upcoming Heritage auction, which looks absolutely amazing, and plenty of other content. So, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, like this video, share with your friends, and drop a comment or 2 about, what you think, what you're interested in, any features you'd want in this particular visualization. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.